Some of it's autobiographical and some of it isn't. I want it to be slightly less autobiographical, this record, than the first one. The first one's very personal. It's very kind of, I'm so young, I have so many emotions, blah, blah, blah. But this one's, some of it's more observational and some of it is very personal, almost painfully personal. There is a kind of theme, obviously. Trouble in Paradise is the name of the record, and there's a definite theme of, it's a mood, I guess, more than anything else. Every song had to have a kind of mood of a kind of melancholy, and even in the songs that feel very happy, there's a melancholic note to them. And Trouble in Paradise is a feeling, it's an emotion, it's a mood, and it's kind of, I guess the best way to describe it is the mood of emptiness in a place where there was once a great deal of joy. It's always interesting to see the different responses to people kind of going, oh, I like this track, or I like that track, or I like that track. But apart from that, I don't know. I think it'll be a longer game. I think it'll be over the course of the next year, seeing how people respond to the record over time. I don't think it will get the same kind of short fuse response as the first record. I feel like it is a bit more of a, I want to say a different word to grower, but I can't think of one. But I think it'll take, you know, I think it'll, hopefully it will grow with people a little bit more. I don't know. I mean, it was definitely a difficult second record. I don't know if it took a long time to battle that. I don't know if, I can't even say that we did battle it. You know, I think that was definitely a thing for the whole record. It was. You can say that you're ignoring it and that you're not having a difficult second record, but you are. You know, it is difficult. It'd be easier if my first record sold like 1,000 copies, but it didn't. And you know, whether people expect the same thing or some similar things to happen again, you know, there's always that going on in your head. But we just tried to push that out all the time. You just got to do what's right for you now. You've almost, I think the best thing to do is forget you ever made an album, forget you were ever that artist, forget you ever did anything, and just pretend you're starting again, because you are. I had a thing called Residual Tension, which is, to put it simply, is basically when a muscle in your, around your larynx, I'm not entirely sure whether it's around your larynx or whether it just is your larynx, I'm still not entirely sure, that basically becomes paralysed. And it's kind of, there's a problem that people who play in orchestras get, like they get trombonists' lip, or they get like a kind of violinist cramp hand, where they can't uncramp their hand, they can't unclaw it, and they can't move their lips. So obviously to not be able to move your lip for a trumpet player or anything like that is a nightmare. And it happens basically through a long period of stress and anxiety or pressure or whatever you want to call it. And it just becomes completely debilitating. And it's very difficult to get rid of, because the only way to get rid of it is to spend a long time working on whatever it was inside, usually inside your head, that's made part of your body tense up. You have no control over that muscle. So I basically just had to wait. I had to do a lot of talking, a lot of rethinking about the way I did things, the way, you know, we did things as a team, and the way I did things as a band, the way I did things as an artist, the way I did things, everything to do with the way I did anything. Some of the writing was still done with Ben. You know, four of the tracks were still done with Ben. But everything else was, I mean, everything else was either done by myself at home, writing-wise, or Tropical Chancer, which I actually, I wrote largely myself, but I was, the beginnings of it, I was involved with Jeff Basker. There's also another song on the record called Cruel Sexuality, which I wrote with a guy called Al Shucks. And then I wrote Silent Partner, and we rearranged and rewrote a lot of the stuff that I'd done with Ben. I rewrote with Ian, who I made the record with. Me and Ian made the record. So there's like different kind of periods of writing over the last sort of 4 years. You know, it's only 9 tracks. Some of them I wrote at home by myself. Others were just part of other things I was doing. And they were things that I'd kind of done before that Ben kind of wasn't really interested in pursuing. So when we stopped working together, I reintroduced them, just in very different places. You know, I realised in the gap between making the first record and the second record that artistically we wanted very different things. He worked with another band that, to me, just said we're in different universes.